Kuldotha Boros is a mid-range deck that used to be known as Kitty decks thanks to its creator Turbo Kitty 3000, but now it gets its name from the card Kuldotha Rebirth. The main goal of this deck is to gain card advantage through enter the battlefield abilities on artifacts and creatures while developing our board, utilizing cheap removal to buy time and clear a path for our creatures, and finally overwhelm the board with tokens and pump spells while also having the option to finish off our opponent with burn spells. Let's start off by looking at our card advantage suite. The suite starts in the form of 4 Ichor Wellspring and 4 Prophetic Prism, which each replace themselves when they enter the battlefield. Prism has the added bonus of color fixing, and Wellspring draws us a card when it's destroyed. The second part of our card advantage suite continues in the form of 4 Core Skyfishers and 4 Glint Hawks. We take advantage of both of their enter the battlefield abilities by returning either a Wellspring or Prism to our hand, only to recast it for more value. We can also return any one of our 4 Thraben Inspectors or 1 Core Sanctifier to our hand to recast it for additional value. Note that this can only be done with Core Skyfisher. Thraben Inspector creates a clue token when it enters the battlefield, which not only gives us some late game card draw, but it also is an artifact, which is important because we have a few cards in the deck that require us to have at least 3 artifacts on the battlefield. Core Sanctifiers are great at taking out an artifact or enchantment while also providing a body. When we don't need our artifacts anymore, we can even get more value out of them by casting one of our 2 Kuldotha Rebirth. Next up, we have our removal and burn spells. Our package consists of 2 Journey to Nowhere, 1 Firebolt, 4 Galvanic Blast, and 4 Lightning Bolt. As you can see, this deck can have quite a bit of reach with burn damage to finish off our opponent, but it's not the primary way of winning. Our main way of winning is by flooding the board with tokens and pumping our creatures. 3 Battle Screech ensure we have a good board state for our 2 Rally the Peasants. Rally is great because you can often cast it twice in the same turn, and with all of the flyers in the deck, it's often a lethal attack. Battle Screech's mana cost may seem a little bit intensive, but we get 4 creatures out of it, as we can tap the 2 creatures it creates to flash it back to create 2 more creatures. Our mana base starts off with 3 Ancient Den and 3 Great Furnace, which have the added benefit of being artifacts themselves. This helps power our Galvanic Blasts and Kuldotha Rebirths. Next we have 2 Forgotten Caves and 2 Secluded Steppes as lands that we can use to cycle in the late game. 2 Radiant Fountain help us gain life and stabilize and have a great synergy with 2 Boros Garrison and our Skyfishers, as we can return it to our hand with Boros Garrison and Skyfisher's ability, and then replay it to gain even more life. The same can be said with our 4 gain lands in the form of Windscarred Crag. Finally, 1 Mountain and 2 Plains round out the mana base. For our sideboard, we are running 2 Electrickery for the Elves and Tokens matchups, 4 Ancient Grudge for the Affinity, and some of you are probably thinking, but we don't have any green mana in our deck to flash Ancient Grudge back. Well, we can use our Prophetic Prisms for green mana, so it ends up being okay. 2 Pyroblast for our blue matchups, 2 Circle of Protection red for our red aggro matchups, a Standard Bearer to provide protection for our creatures, and 3 Molten Rain to take out Tron decks. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video though, make sure to like, comment, and share the video. If you're interested in the deck, I put a link in the description that will take you to the deck list on mtggoldfish.com. There you can see the prices for both MTGO and paper. Also, don't forget to subscribe and please follow me on Twitter at Pauper_Fox. And as always, don't forget to check out the Pauper subreddit r/Pauper for all your Pauper needs, and I'll see you next time.